Alright guys, what's up? VV back again with another video. Gonna be looking at a new card game. Gonna be looking at Grand Archive here. We have a... This is a video by the developers, I guess, Grand Archive TCG. I'm assuming this is like the actual developers of the game. It looks very legit, very official. You know, we're gonna just take a look at this, and I'm gonna pause and respond as I go, as I take a look at it here. So just to give you guys a heads up. So I think I'm gonna turn off the lo-fi so we can actually hear what this guy has to say, okay? Because he does talk through it. All right, so there we go. We got that off. Here we go. Let me turn the volume up. Watch make sure your headphones aren't too loud here. Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the Grand Archive trading card game Quick Start Guide. Grand Archive is an anime trading card game where players duel to defeat their opposing champions before losing their own.
Okay.
Let's get started. So
you're dueling a champion. Okay, so this is the new format, I feel like. This is the new gaming format of like you're fighting an opponent. You're not fighting the person across from you. You're fighting this character on the table, like how it is like in One Piece, how it is in Flesh and Blood. And then like games like Lorcana have kind of taken it as like, well, instead of fighting your opponent, you're just gonna race to 20 lore. Y'all are gonna have a little foot race, you know.
Here are 2 champion cards.
Oh, okay, all right. Here we go. So I have seen some of this, not much. This isn't a total blind reveal to, or you know, first time blind reaction style video. I have seen some of this, but these cards look really nice to me. I'm not gonna lie. These cards look very clean. I love the, you know, I know this is a very standard look for cards, but this looks nice. The art style is not really my thing. I'm just going to be completely honest with everybody. I don't judge. I'm not making fun of it or anything. It's not really my style. But okay, let's see what we got here. I'm going to read it first. So we got a level 1 cost Rye Spellcrafter. He's a normal. It says norm. Champion Mage. Enter effect. You may reveal a mage card from your hand. If you do, put 2 enlighten counters on Rye. Okay. As a fast action, you may remove 3 enlighten counters from your champion to draw a card. Okay, so if you build up to 3 enlighten counters, you can remove 2 real quick, like, oh, do that, and then boom, draw a card. Okay, and it says as a fast action, so I'm assuming if there's speeds in this game, like in Magic, you know, there's instant speed, sorcery speed. I'm assuming fast would just be like, boom, that happens whenever you need it or have it available to you whenever you want it. Okay, and it looks at the bottom right. He doesn't have an attack. It just looks like he's got a heart there, so, you know, that means life. The heart, the universal symbol of life, right? He's got 15. And then on the right here, we have Lorraine, level 1, cost 1. Wandering Warrior. They had such a good opportunity to make that alliteration work out so well. Oh well, so she's a normal as well. Champion Warrior. So we got a mage on the left, a warrior on the right. Enter effect. You may reveal a warrior card from your hand. If you do, search your material deck. Okay. Your material deck. Excuse me, guys. My throat's drying out. For a weapon card with memory cost 1 or less and put it onto the field. Okay. Excuse me, guys. I had to take a sip of my drink there. And this person has 16 life. I wonder how they balance the life. That's interesting. Okay, so we got an idea for these inner effects. One's doing some mage stuff. The other's doing some warrior stuff. Let's hear what the guy has to say. Excuse me.
Champion is defeated when they accrue an amount of damage counters equal to or greater than their life stat.
Okay.
When a champion is defeated and you are the player with the last champion standing, you win the game. We'll talk about how these champions get on the field in the first place later. As you can see, we have 2 decks. One is called the material deck and the other is the main deck.
Okay, so there's the 2 decks. I like how clean this board is, by the way. You got your banish pile at the top right, graveyard bottom right, deck in the middle right. Memory, okay. You got to learn about that in a minute here. And then on the far left, we got what he called the material deck. Okay, let's see.
The material deck consists of champion and regalia cards.
Oh, okay. Really, really cool. See, now I will say this. When it comes to that art style, I'm not a big fan of that art style when it comes to the humans, the characters. But when it comes to weapons and things like this, I'm okay with this. I do like items and, this spirit of fire. I'm okay with this aspect of the art style, but I don't really care for the character, the way the characters look. Okay, so let's see. So we got a Spirit of Fire here, level 0, 0 cost fire spell, or fire something. I don't know if it's a spell or not. Champions. It's a champion spirit. It's a champion spirit. Enter effect to draw 6 cards. Okay, that's pretty good. So I wonder, since it's a level 0, I think it'll probably be something that starts off and then your hero will go on top of it. Just like I said, from the little bit I've gathered, that sounds about like what's going on. Inherited effect. I like that. I like that idea. Inherited effect. This champion is fire element in addition to its other elements. Fire element is permanently enabled. Okay, and this has 10 life on it. Okay. Whenever this champion levels up, the new champion gains this ability. Okay, so it's kind of, I think it's kind of like Digimon. I've only seen a few videos of that as well, where like as you build up your character, as they level up, they keep remaining effects, and this one has the same. Okay. Let's look at this weapon here. 1 cost, Clarent, Sword of Peace, normal. This is a Regalia weapon, Warrior Sword, class bonus. Remove a durability counter from Clarent. Well, how do you get durability counters on it? Prevent the next 1 damage target action would deal to units you control. Activate this ability only if your champion's class matches this card's class. And this thing has a sword and a shield down here of 1 damage. It looks like 1 attack and 3 defense. So it didn't tell us how to get the remove a durability counter. Okay, yeah, I'm sure he'll explain that in the video, or maybe it's not as important to learning how to play. But anyway, very cool ability. I like this class idea. That's really cool. This class, that kind of makes me feel like World of Warcraft or something, like an RPG. I do like that. I really like that. Okay, let's read this next one. Life Essence Amulet, 0 cost. Normal regalia item, bauble. Whenever an ally you control dies while it is not your turn, you may banish Life Essence Amulet if you do draw a card. Okay, cool. 0 cost, draw card, potential draw card effect. 0 cost, Grand Crusader's Ring, normal. Regalia item, bauble, another bauble, and it looks like a ring, amulet, probably bracelets and stuff in the future. It looks like just little trinkets are going to be these little baubles, and then you're going to have weapons, spirits. Okay, that's very cool. Or champions, I should say, instead of spirit. But let's see. This has Divine Relic. You may only have 1 card with the Divine Relic keyword in your material deck. Okay, so this is a very special card. Banish Grand Crusader's Ring, draw a card. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Interesting. I really love this idea of the material deck. I think that's the future as well of TCGs. Having a leader, number 1, that's the future. And having these side decks, is number 2. Like, for example, Dawn decks in the Dawn deck in One Piece, where I don't need to worry about my resources. I can just grab them as I need them. This is a step towards more skilled play coming in the future, because when I no longer have to worry about fixing mana, this little side game of the game I'm playing, when I can have everything the way I want it, then I can actually really make some plays, right? It's, enable combos and whatnot. It'll probably be hard to balance, but I think y'all see what I'm saying. Or, tell me what you think in the comments below if you disagree or not. All right, let's keep going.
These cards originate from your homeworld and will aid you in your duel. You may look at these cards at any time.
Cool, okay.
The main deck consists of cards that you will draw into your hand during regular play.
Okay, he's short. So maybe I shouldn't read all these, but I do want to let me just blast over some of these. So we got 2 Honorable Vanguards in his opening hand, a Savage Slash, an Inspiring Call, and a Magus Disciple. So Savage Slash is a 2 cost normal warrior attack, class bonus, level 2+. Savage level gets +1 attack. That's it. Apply this effect only if your champion's class matches this card's class, and only if your champion is level 2 or higher. Savage Slash gets +1. Oh, so you'll get a +1, a bonus to Savage Slash if you're a warrior and you're over level 2, and it has a 2 base attack in the bottom right. Okay, really cool. Honorable Vanguard. So this is the one in the front there too. This is an intercept ally. Oh, this is an ally. So at first when I saw the attack on the left, I was thinking this is kind of like it has the whole flesh and blood vibe, right? But and it does have that. But it looks like we can also have ally cards as well. So it's not just your champion fighting their champion. It looks like you can have allies that are going to aid you and assist you along the way. Very cool. And this warrior ally, she costs 3, and she has intercept. When an attack targets your champion, you may redirect that attack to this ally. I figured. So it's like a blocker style of ability. She has 2 attack and 2 health. Okay, cool. And then we have Inspiring Call, 3 cost Inspiring Call, normal action, warrior action here. If your champion has attacked this turn, Inspiring Call costs 2 less to activate. So it becomes a 1 cost if your champion has already attacked this turn. And then allies you control get +1 attack and 2 life until the end of the turn. So I wonder, okay, if your champion has attacked this turn, so how do we know if a card is fast or not? It says at the bottom right there. So would you be able to do this in response? Like, so you attack with your champion, and then you do this in response, or does the attack have to resolve first? I do need to. I don't know all the rules. Like I said, that is something I need to know. But this card seems very strong and nice. It buffs allies, all allies you control, by 1 attack and 2 health until the end of turn. Really good. And then on the far right here, we got Mage's Disciple, 2 cost, normal, ally mage, class bonus. Your champion gets +1. Whoa. Your champion gets +1 level. Apply this effect only if your champion's class matches this card's class. Yeah, so for mages, whenever Mage's Disciple dies, draw a card. Wow, that's a really, really good card. All right, let me hit play real quick.
Of various different card types. We'll go over a few of them in this video.
Oh, that's too fast. No, Fireball, come back. I want to read Fireball.
Various different card types. We'll go over a few.
Okay, Fireball, 3 cost, fire, action, mage, class bonus. Fireball costs 1 less to activate. Apply this effect only if your champion's class matches. So it'd be weird if you played this in something that was not a mage deck, but who knows, you know. So it only costs 2 for a mage. It's a slow speed. So you see, Inspiring Call was fast. This one is slow. Deal 1 plus level damage to target unit. LV refers to your champion's level. Okay, I figured. Okay. So if your guy's like a level 2 or 3, this will deal 1 plus the 2 or 3, whatever you are. Yeah, this seems pretty good. I don't know how good that is just yet. All right, let's let it keep going.
Few of them in this video. But before we do that, let's go over what all cards have in common. This is the card's elemental requirement. We need to have this element enabled before being allowed to activate this card. This card requires the normal element, which is enabled for all players at the start of the game.
All right,
Here is the card's reserve cost, indicated by the yellow circle. It's basically the card's activation cost. To pay for this cost, we must place that many cards from our hand face down into the memory zone. But remember, we can only do this if we have the required element enabled.
How do you enable? Also, did they just play 3 mana in one turn? Like 1 or 3 memory cards at one turn?
The cards you reserve into memory aren't lost forever. You'll get them back during your next turn.
Well, wow, okay.
Now let's go over some common card types, starting with ally cards. Allies are summoned onto the main field, the same field where your champion resides. They have an attack and life stat. Allies can attack as long as it's currently your main phase and that ally is awake. Being awake means that the card is in portrait orientation.
Tap versus untapped. Okay,
that the card is in landscape orientation.
Standard.
When allies attack, that ally becomes rested, and the controller must declare what target you're attacking.
So you do declare the target.
If the target is an opposing ally, that ally has an opportunity to retaliate if they are awake. Doing so rests that ally. When
Retaliate.
an ally attacks into a retaliating defender, they both deal damage to each other. Defenders get to deal damage back only if they are retaliating. Allies die if the damage they take in a single turn is equal to or greater than their life stat.
Okay, so they both KO'd each other, basically.
Keep in mind that allies can attack the turn they enter the field.
Allies can attack the turn they enter the field. Okay, so there is no rush in this game, just everything has rush.
But doing so makes them rested, not being able to retaliate during the opponent's turn. Action cards are cards that have one-time effects. They are great for providing boosts in tempo advantage and are common in many deck types. These cards have a speed stat. If the action card says slow, that means it may only be activated during your main phase, and only if there are no other card effects being resolved. However, if the card says fast, it can be played in response to other effects. It can also be played during any phase and even on another player's turn. Attack cards allow your champion to attack, similar to an ally. Activating an attack card requires your champion to be awake. It becomes rested as you declare an attack target. This attack deals damage to the target equal to the attack card's attack stat and can be retaliated against as well.
So, wait, what? So he used, hang on.
Becomes rested as you activating an attack card requires your champion to be awake. It becomes rested as you declare an attack.
So you declared an attack.
Target. This attack deals damage to the target equal to the attack card's attack stat and can be retaliated against as well.
So that was how she attacked this Lorraine girl, right? I think that was her name, Lorraine. So she can't attack without these attack cards, is what it seems like, unless I'm missing something.
Now that we know how to use our cards, let's go over the phases of the turn.
Okay, I gotta say, what an incredible little video they've made here that shows like how to play the game, like this 3D rendering model or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. This is really nice. I think that all games going forward should definitely go down this path of like showing how to play the game like this. But I know everything costs money, but you know, this is very nice. All right, so let's see. Now we're about to learn about the phases. We got the wake up phase, materialize phase, recollection phase, draw phase, main phase, and end phase. Here we go.
When we first start our turn, we enter the wake up phase. During this phase, all cards on our main field wake up. So
just your untap. You know, like in Magic, there's untap, upkeep, draw, right? So your upkeep in this game is spread across two. It looks like materialize and recollection. Then your main phase, you know, what is it in Magic? Untap, upkeep, draw, main phase 1, attack phase, main phase 2, end phase. They've learned, you know, like there just needs to be a main phase. The attack phase doesn't need to be a thing anymore, and that's, at least in my opinion, it doesn't. And then you have your end phase. So okay, here we go. Let's see what they do.
Next is the materialize phase.
Okay.
During this phase, we may activate up to one card from our material deck.
Okay, I was wondering. Okay, so this side deck that we have, this material deck, we're going to be able to access one card from there every single turn, and use it, I guess. Let me rewind. Let him say what he was about to say. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Unlike the card during this phase, we may activate up to one card from our material.
Also, I have to real quick mention, absolutely gorgeous backings on these cards. Look at the back of these cards. Wow, man, just very high quality art. Very nice looking. Very high. It's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Very nice.
Material deck. Unlike the cards in our hand, the cards in the material deck have a memory cost instead of a reserve cost.
A memory
which is indicated by a blue circle.
Okay, so we got blue and yellow for the costs.
To pay for a memory cost, we must banish that many cards currently in our memory zone at random. Because of the random nature of paying for memory costs, the player must be very careful of what cards they put down to pay for reserve costs.
Very interesting. That is a very interesting mechanic. Because I remember what he said last time, or I remember some of what he said, where he was talking about like, you're going to get your memory cards back to your hand. You know, but playing these cards on the left here, this material deck, they're materializing. Okay, I see what they're doing there. But the memory's gone, and it's at random. I wish you could choose the memory card. I'm not going to lie. I think you should choose the memory card. But who knows? They bounced it the way they wanted to bounce. Let's hear what they have to say.
After the materialize phase, we enter the recollection phase, where we return all cards from our memory zone to our hand. Then we draw a card for our draw phase, and immediately move back into our main phase, which is where most of our plays occur.
Okay.
After the main phase, there is the end phase, which is when end of turn effects end and temporary damage on all ally cards are removed.
So damage does not last forever. It's not permanent damage. It just, well, it does last for the whole turn, right? So it sounds like you can eventually knock someone down who's like got a lot of health, but at the end of the turn, if you don't do it, it goes away.
Now that we've learned how to use our cards and how the turn cycle flows back and forth, there's only one more thing to cover. Let's take a look at how a game begins. After randomly deciding on who goes first, the player that does puts a level 0 champion from their material deck into play at the start of the turn. It skips immediately to the main phase. These level 0 champions draw you an opening hand of cards and usually enable an element for the player.
So that's how we enabled the element like that for that fireball effect. This character, and there's that inherited thing we were looking at. So that guy is a fire, or that girl is going to be a fire elemental user for the rest of the game, probably. Really cool.
This dictates how their deck should be built. The level 0 champion can level up into higher level champions during the materialized phase by paying a memory cost.
So a quick question I have as well. So notice how it says 10 life on the Spirit of Fire card and 16 life on Lorraine. So let's just for the sake of this example, say I'm at 7 health with my Spirit of Fire, and then I level up to Lorraine. Do I go to 16, or do I go to 16 minus 3? Because that's what I was at 10 minus 3. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't actually know. But this seems really cool.
Note how the champion's life stat increases when they level up, allowing them to take more damage counters before perishing on the battlefield.
Oh, I didn't explain.
New and stronger elements are enabled.
Whoa, holy cow. So this character's got 28 health. Okay, they're level 3. Level 3, cost 3, Lorraine, Crux Knight. Crux is the type as well. That's really cool. That's unique. I love when they get away from the standard. Like, I understand you have to have baseline stuff like this champion is a warrior. I get that. That's fine. You know, you do have to have certain things that are just generic, right? That's fine. But I love when you have the unique character design. This is a Crux Knight. Well, what is a crux? I don't know. I don't know, but it's a type. You know, that's really cool. Crux kind of meaning cross, I'm assuming, something like that. This is a champion warrior, Lorraine lineage. Okay, obviously. Lorraine Crux Knight must be leveled from a previous level Lorraine, quote-unquote, champion. I feel like that is wasting space. I like just have... I feel like it should have just said Lorraine lineage, and then there's just a keyword... you know, how do you say it? A defined keyword for lineage. That means anything that says X lineage means it can only be from X line. Because I feel like they could add more to the card. But who knows? They probably know what they're doing. Crux element is enabled. Okay. Wait, Crux element is enabled. And she was normal, right? Okay, this is really cool. Lorraine's attack gains +1 attack for each Regalia weapon card in your banished pile. Majestic Spirit, answer my call. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going.
Turn champion levels, unlocking a variety of cards for us to activate. After this turn, the next player gets to put a level 0 champion of their own into play.
There's a green life.
Deck. Then, they skip to their draw phase, allowing them to draw a card before their first main phase. Now, you've learned how to play a basic game of Grand Archive. For additional information and tips, please refer to the info sheet or booklet included in the Grand Archive Starter Deck products. Thanks for watching this quick start guide for the Grand Archive trading card game.
Well, that was an absolutely incredible quick start guide, as they're calling it, intro to the game. The game looks cool. The game looks fun to me. You know, the game does look really nice. Let me go back to... Yeah, this was a cool part to look at where they're fighting. Let me hit play real quick because I want to pause
Defenders
it.
Get to deal damage.
Yeah, look, Lorraine is just a normal.
Allies die if the damage they take in a single turn is...
Let me fast forward where he does the attack. So, interesting. And he attacked with
common in
savage
deck types. These cards have a speed stat if
Sorry,
they're
guys. One savage
attack
slash.
card requires your champion.
Okay, this is where he attacks. The attacking, it seems very, very, very similar to Flesh and Blood to me, where like the characters can't even attack this low of level unless they use one of these special, you know, class specific cards, it looks like.
To be awake. It becomes rested as you declare an attack target.
So I'm attacking.
This attack deals damage to the target equal to the attack card's attack stat and can be retaliated against.
It can be retaliated against. Okay, that's... and now I want to look at one more thing. Sorry, guys. You know, we're just kind of going through this together. Yeah, see, she doesn't... Oh, wait. Lorraine's attacks gain +1 for each regalia weapon card in your banished pile. So, okay. Where was that sword at? We have to look at that sword real quick. I just want to see something. Class bonus. Remove a durability counter. We didn't get into that either, the durability counters. This gives 1 attack. So, okay, this is really what I want to know. Is, will there be a situation where, like, okay, when you're, like, down to your last few cards in hand, can you attack with your hero for what it does by itself? Because here's why I asked that. So in Flesh and Blood, since it is very similar in this regard, you know, in Flesh and Blood, you're drawing 4 cards every single turn. That is part of the game mechanic, is at the end of your turn, you draw 4 cards. So you will have 4 options of attacks that you go through. Will there reach a point in this game where, like, man, I just don't have any good cards in hand. Can I not attack? Because, or like I said, will there be cards like this sword that allow me to attack multiple times? Maybe I missed it. They might have said it. Let's listen to this sword part one more time, see if they were mainly talking more about memory cost.
Enter the Waker phase. During this phase, all cards are...
No.
During this phase, we may activate up to 1 card from our material deck. Unlike the cards in our hand, the cards in the material deck have a memory cost instead of a reserve cost, which is indicated by a blue circle. To pay for a memory cost, we must banish that many cards currently in our memory zone at random. Because of the random nature of paying for memory costs,
so it's not really
the player
talking
must
about
be very
it.
careful of what cards they put down to pay for reserve costs. After the materialized...
So, and then the other thing is, like, I don't know if y'all saw, this thing had a... There we go. This thing has a 3 attack. I don't know how well it's going to come out in the video, but this thing has a 3, or excuse me, has a 1 attack and a 3 defense. So, if one of these vanguards, these honorable vanguards, attacked me, and I have the sword, will they block 3 of the damage? Like, does the sword block 3 damage? Interesting. So I do have a lot of questions. Unfortunately, I feel like there's probably going to be better... there will probably be better guides out there, but I did at least want to go over this one. I'm going to look more into the game and learn it better. And then maybe do a learn how to play type of video, you know, where I'll just kind of show how to... I'll pick up a starter deck for the game, obviously, and then I'll do a playthrough. Yeah, so here's Lorraine. And it looked like the way that this deck was built is they gave her the Spirit of Fire, so she was able to throw out these fireballs. You know, excuse me, I'm just going backwards here. Yeah, like she can throw out these fireballs.
Finish that many cards.
They're not really showing us the close-up on it anymore. Where was it? Here it is. So that way she can, you know... Well, but it says class bonus, fireball costs 1 less to activate. Oh, well, so you can still cast the fireball as long as you have the fire soul, but it'll cost the full 3 if you're not a mage, is what it seems like. Okay, that's really cool. I do like that. But then when this girl upgraded, where was the Lorraine level 3, man? Where was that at? Hang on. Here it is. This now says Crux element is enabled. So my question is, can more than one element be enabled as well? Because she started off as fire, but then up here it says Crux element enabled. I don't know. If anyone knows these, if anyone has the answer to the questions I have, by all means throw them down in the comments below. I'm trying to learn a new game. You know, I think this is a really cool game, and whenever I do learn it, I'm sure I'll do a tutorial video on it, because I do plan on knocking out a tutorial, a how to play video on One Piece, because that seems to be the main bulk of my content right now that I'm most interested in, and then probably a Lorcana one, and then this game, and then a Flesh and Blood game. You know, it's going to be a bunch of little, you know, just basic how to plays. I'm not like a level 1 or level 0 judge in any of these games, or whatever the max, I don't know, level 3 judge, who knows. I'm not like some, you know, big judge in any of these games, but I like to at least set people in the right track when it comes to these games, like kind of teach them how to play the game, the basics. Advanced questions you can always Google if you need to, or look up on Discord and ask people on Discord. But you know, it's nice to at least give people an idea how to play the game, like how this video did, so that you can get a good idea for it and say like, man, I don't really like that game, or man, I really like that game. You know, depending on how you feel about it. So yeah, okay, so that's about it for the video, guys. I appreciate y'all sticking around for it. The game looks awesome. I love. Let me talk about. Let me wrap up here. Talk about the things I like and maybe things I dislike. I really like how clean these borders are. I like the backs of the cards. I like how there is a champion that is fighting on our behalf, and we have some allies. That is all really nice. I also love this leveling idea, like, you know, this level 0 Spirit of Fire, level 1 Lorraine. You know, so she's, you know, she's got this fiery spirit, right? And eventually she's going to upgrade to this Crux Knight, this Lorraine, you know, as she gets stronger. I love that. I absolutely love that is probably the next logical step in TCGs, right? Things kind of started off with Magic, right? Where it's like, okay, we got to use basic concepts. I'm a wizard and you're a wizard. We're going to duel. Here's our Magic decks. This is the gathering. This is the gathering of the Magic users here. We're going to cast spells at each other, and it's going to be like that. Great game, by the way. You know, Magic the Gathering, incredible. But it is kind of like the basic level. And then I feel like there actually was a game. I'm starting to work on a video that is gonna be my top 5 all-time card game lists. It's hard for me to do it because all these new card games are coming out, but I might have to do a personal one for up until 2023. You know, going forward, we'll see what it becomes. But right now, that's where I'm at. And it's like there was a card game that I used to really like. That was called Legend of the Five Rings. L5R is what we called it for short. L5R, Legend 5 Rings. And that game was so far before its time. Unfortunately, it died off. It is what it is. But that game was so far before its time because it had a province you were attacking. Well, that's what I was going to say. The natural evolution of the game was no longer, okay, you know, like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm fighting you, you know, pointing at the person across the table from you. It's like, no, you know, now games they have these leaders. Like, no, I'm actually like in One Piece, right? Oh, I'm Luffy and I'm fighting Zoro or something. Like, we're dueling, right? Which is cool, right? And then like, or no, I'm Garp and I'm fighting Sakazuki or something. Yeah, just you name it, whatever the decks are. Well, this keeps that, and then it says, well, if that character is going to stay around, why not level it up, right? So we get from attacking each other to, well, now we're going to have a leader represent us. You know, to now we're going to have that leader that represents us be able to level up. I love that. I absolutely love that. Very funny down there at the bottom right on this card. It says 2021 Weebs of the Shore. I guess it's like instead of Wizards of the Coast, you got Weebs of the Shore. That's very funny. I wonder, is that the actual? Yeah, it says on all these. That's very funny. Maybe that's the name of the publisher. I don't know, or the you know, designers. I don't know. Like I said, I've only looked in briefly into this. I do recall seeing that name, Weaves of the Shore, so maybe I have seen that, but I don't know. Like I said, there's so many cool games coming out. This one is the one I'm most interested in going forward, I think. I definitely want to do some content on Grand Archive. I can't stress enough how much I love this level idea. And how clean these cards look, that black and blue for Grand Archive, just gorgeous, just gorgeous. And the elemental stuff, they're mixing the elements with the classes. This is the way, guys. This seems like the right way going forward. I do have some questions, though. Like I said, some concerns on the attacking. It seems like once I do enough things on the board, I'm kind of just going to start hitting the fence. And like, notice, sorry, I don't mean to zip through these. We got to get back to the Lorraine card. Well, first of all, this Lorraine was, you may reveal a warrior card from your hand. If you do, search your material deck for a weapon with memory cost 1 or less and put it onto the field. How do the weapons work? That's the next thing I need to look at. Because this one says Lorraine's attacks gain +1 for each Regalia weapon card in your banished pile. So that's interesting. I wonder if there's going to be like a go again style of effect in this game, like how there's in Flesh and Blood, where it's like maybe I hit you with one attack, but then I come in with my equipment for the other. Very cool. Very cool ideas. The other thing that this one's more of a pet, not a pet peeve. It's more of just an aesthetic thing. Like I said, I don't really care for this art. I appreciate it, and I can respect art like this. I think it's very beautiful. But it's not really my style. I'm much more like, I'm not a huge anime style person. Not to say I don't like anime or anything like that. Of course, I play all these different One Piece games and I used to play Dragon Ball Super a tiny bit. You name it, between Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! There's so much going on. But it's not really my favorite style, I guess. But it still looks good, and hey, they're working with what they got. And it's not, it would never turn me off from playing the game. But I do want to know what kind of card draw is going to be in this game, because I feel like, okay, you put this sword down. What does the attack and defense mean? Because 3 defense seems unbelievable. Because none of these cards I've seen so far can do 3 attack. Or more than cost. Excuse me, more than 3 attack. See, these Honorable Vanguards on the board can only do 2 attack and they have 2 defense. You know what? I just had this idea. Is that their durability? I just had this idea. Is the shield their durability? So it can swing 3 times, maybe? I don't know. Someone, if someone knows, please fill me in the comment section below. Really cool looking game. I'll end it here, guys, because I don't want to ramble on too much about this. This game looks really cool. I will be giving this a good, thorough, study and looking over and seeing how. And from what I saw, I think I saw in my recommended that there's even been tournaments for this game already. I'm gonna have to look into those, see what decks are doing, and maybe come back next time that I go over Grand Archive. Maybe come in with a how to play style video. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all for staying along for the ride and staying this long if you did. And my throat's almost completely dried out at this point, so I'm gonna have to call it here. Until next time. Again, sorry. Tell me what you think in the comments below, please. And if you don't mind, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. So appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe, and until next time, peace.